Well, it's day 3. It's around 6:30, 7 o'clock. It just poured all night long. Lots of winds. Hammock got a little bit wet on the one side. Nothing life or death. My sleeping bag never got wet. So I got up around 4:30 in the pouring rain, adjusted my tarp, and got cold, but that's alright. And got a fire going. We got some coffee. It pours off and on. They're calling for a chance of rain today, so I'm hoping that this is the chance and it's over shortly. Gonna get some grub, probably head out. Maybe yesterday we were on the trail around 9, but today I think we've only got about 6 or 7 kilometers. So yeah, we'll hopefully leave maybe 10ish. If it stops raining, we can dry some stuff out. That'd be nice. Anywho, time for coffee. Well, we're just getting everything all tore down. It's been raining off and on, so everything's pretty soggy. Nice place to camp. Got the tarps kind of air drying up. My hammock's in the snake skin. Matt's just working on undoing his goodies. It's a nice spot, Nora Lake. It's a bit of a chore to get water because you're up probably 30 feet to 50 feet higher up than the water, so you got to walk down with it. And to get into this site, you really got to trek up a big hill, and it is a big hill. That's kind of the downfall, but it doesn't look like many people come here, so there was piles of firewood, lots of trees down, so it's pretty quiet, nice lake. Had a loon calling this morning, so it was nice. But yeah, we're just gonna pack up, and I'm not sure what time it is. It's 9:20, so we'll probably get out of here between 10 and 10:30. I think we got about 6 kilometer hike, so shouldn't be too bad of a day. A nice short day to rest, and then tomorrow I think we've got a 8, almost 9 kilometer hike out, so and that'll be the end of the trip. So we'll see you later. Well, we pretty much got base camp all tore down. We're just packing up the last few things, making sure the water's full. And yeah, Matt's just finishing up right there. My stuff's all packed up. We hung up the tarps right there for a little bit. We'll put the fire out. There's our lake. Nice spot. Bag is all packed. Just need to put the water on the side, put the GoPro away, and we're off to the races. So we'll see you down the trail. Kind of the ups and downs that this trail has. It's all up and down. Very few flat spots. Oak Lake is just down there. I think there's a camp spot there. So that's about 2.5 kilometers in under an hour. Yeah, about 45 minutes. So, pretty decent time. Like I said, it's a lot of ups and downs, so you kind of get your butt kicked going up the hills, and then on flat ground you kind of slow down for a little bit so your legs can recoup, and then you speed up to gain that time. So we just passed Panther Lake and the portage, and coming up to Dace Lake. Looks like a nice lake. Lots of big hills. Whew. We went down a monster of a hill. It was like being in a rainforest. There's mosquitoes around. If you're interested in mosquitoes, come to the park. There's lots. It's about the only thing we've seen. So there's the sign for Ramona Lake and the first loop. Right over here is Fat Matt. He's just looking at the information map. That's where you'd be coming back from, I think, if you did the long loop, the 78-kilometer loop, or 70 something. We're here, where everyone's been fucking rubbing their finger, so there's no actual map info.
Started here.
Yeah, we started there, went to there in pretty much 2 hours, almost exactly. So I think we got just a little bit of a hike into the lake.
Yeah, slightly south.
Yeah, so another half an hour, I guess we'll be there anyways, 15 minutes. Time to roll. There's about the wildest animal we've seen on the trip. Some little chickadee, looks like a nuthatch. Let's roll, we're pretty much there. Let's try to go to the farthest one.
Yeah, well,
I think all three of them are close together, but or four. Trip's going good. We're really busting our butts today. Yeah, for no real reason, because we've got lots of time. We're going to be at our camp spot before 1 o'clock. But be a day to hopefully try out our stuff, recoup, but we're not too bad. So. So we got our spots all done up. My hammock's up there. I got a bunch of crap drying. Everything got pretty soggy from last night. Got a smoky fire going to try and keep some of the bugs away. Fat Matt's got his setup going. He's got himself an extra tarp so he stays nice and dry. It's a pretty nice setup. The lake is right here. It's like 20 feet away from where we are. If you get out of the hammock the wrong way, you could end up in the lake. So it's a nice spot. There's a bit of a breeze, lots of loons. We're only a couple 100 yards, I guess, back to the trail. So that'll be a nice pack up and get in the morning. We got I think about 8.5 kilometers to do tomorrow, so that'll keep us busy tomorrow. Pretty breezy.
Definitely won't be taking the same pace, that's for sure.
No, when we did about 6 kilometers in
2 hours.
almost 2 hours exactly. The bugs were so bad that we weren't stopping. We were kind of just pause for a second, grab the water, and then keep trucking. It was not a fun fun spot to be. It was very swampy, a lot of really big hills, but you know, we made good time. If that was flat ground, we probably would have been pushing 4 or 5 kilometers an hour, but that was a lot of ups and downs. So we're at camp. We had a kind of a lunch brunch sort of deal. Now we're just going to relax. Well, it went from super muggy and cloudy and rainy and misty to not a cloud in sight, sun beating down on us. It's 23 degrees and it's 7-ish, give or take. We've been watching the loons coming down through this bay back and forth, flying and swimming, and all of a sudden there was a beaver that went around the loon a couple times, and the loon dove down and swam off for a bit, and then it came back and the beaver did the same thing, circled the loon a couple times, and now the loon's gone. But the beaver grabbed a branch, oh, I don't know how far, probably 100 yards from his house. He's got a bank den over there, and he's on this white stick. I'm not sure if you can see it. He's kind of between these two branches on the shoreline, and I'm sure you can't see it because this thing doesn't zoom in very good, but he's been eating there for a little while now, and that's about the only wildlife we've seen. We've seen some loons, the beaver, toads, a really big garter snake that was probably 3 feet long or so, anyways, a good inch round for sure. What else? A couple frogs, some tadpoles, the squirrels, chipmunks, lots of moose tracks, some deer tracks, but haven't seen any of them. But we have been talking the whole trip, so it's more enjoyable to talk than to try and be silent just so we can see a moose, when you can drive down pretty much any road in northern Ontario and see a deer or a moose. So it's been pretty nice. We've got some radio going for some background noise. Been playing pig. No, it's just a game of 2 pigs where you roll them. It's kind of interesting. It's a good game because the pigs are, you know, that big. You know, they're slightly bigger than a nickel, I guess. So you can fit them just about anywhere and play. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're probably going to see if we can catch some stars tonight, because pretty much every other night we've been in bed by, well, 8:30 we start to pack up for bed, and I would say by 8:45 we're in the hammocks. So we're going to try and catch the stars. We've got about 8.5-9 kilometers tomorrow to put in. So that'll take us about 4 hours. We'll probably do it in 5 hours because we're going to stop at one of the lakes. We give it all kinds of names because it's like Guacamala or something like that. So we'll probably stop there, have some lunch, and get going. So I'll show you more tomorrow, and maybe if we get some nice stars, I'll show the stars. We'll see you later.
5, 10, 15, zilch, 50, 45.
Well, it's the last night. It's about 10:30. It's the latest we've stayed up, but we sat around the fire and shot the shit. It's a pretty breezy night, but we're pretty secluded. There's kind of big sandbanks, and this flat spot's cut out of them, so I think it's going to stop a lot of the wind and stuff from coming through, which will help really keep us warm. So that'll be cool. Should sleep good. Lots of critters. We heard some owls when we were hanging our bear bag. Oh, sorry. The loons have been all over the place. They haven't been too noisy, but I'm sure now that it's dark they'll come out. Frogs are out chirping. Some bullfrogs are out honking. But we got about 8.5, 9 kilometers to walk tomorrow, so it's time to go to bed and wake up, have some oatmeal, a couple cups of coffee, and get on the way. We'll probably stop about halfway at the Guskawaga Wooga Wooga Lake. I'll put a name somewhere so you know what I'm talking about. And have a bit of a lunch, snack sort of thing there, and keep trucking. So we'll see you in the morning when it's coffee time.